Okay, so we are going to start off with a word problem that reads, Mike has 27 more bananas than Julia. Julia has 14 bananas. If Mike gave 8 bananas to a friend, how many bananas does he have left? So, judging by the first portion of our word problem that reads Mike has 27 more bananas than Julia, we know that we're comparing two quantities and there's no action needed in that sentence. So we're going to use our compare diagram to help us get through the first couple steps of the problem. So with compare problems, there are 3 different components to them. There's a larger set, which we're going to label, a smaller set, and a difference set. So in this problem, our larger set is going to be the number of bananas that Mike has. Our smaller set is going to be the number of bananas that Julia has. And our difference is going to be the number of bananas between Mike and Julia. So we are going to use base 10 blocks to represent the sizes of our set. And we're going to start with the smaller set that Julia has, because that's given to us in the problem, and we know that she has 14 bananas. So we're going to use a long and 4 units to represent the 14 bananas that Julia has. We also know the difference between them is 27 bananas, because we know Mike has 27 more bananas than Julia. So we're going to use 2 longs and 7 units. So we have the smaller set of 14, the difference of 27, but we still need the larger set, or the number of bananas that Mike started with. And because this is a balance, we know that both sides have to be equal in order for it to remain balanced. So we know that we have to have at least the 14, the number of the smaller set. So we're going to build that on this side. So use 14. And we know that we also need at least the number, the difference set, which is 27. So we're going to build 27. And then we're going to make sure that they're balanced. So we have 14, 27, 14, 27. So we know that if we count all of these 3 longs, so we have 30, 31, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have 40, 41. So we see that the larger set, or the number of bananas that Mike started off with, is going to be 41. And it's really important to make the connection with the balance and the equal sign, because you have to make sure that both sides do have to be balanced, so that students can see that an equal sign represents a balance between 2 quantities. So with our next side of our problem, it reads, if Mike gave 8 bananas to a friend, how many bananas does he have left? So the language of 8 bananas, giving 8 bananas to a friend, we know that that requires an action, and because of the type of action that it requires and that's occurring, it's going to be a separate problem. So with separate problems, you have 3 components, which are a start, a change, and a result. So our start is going to be the total number of bananas that Mike has to start with. The change is going to be the number of bananas that Mike gave to his friend. And the result is going to be the number of bananas that Mike has left, which is what we're looking for at the end of this problem. So our start, we indicated in our compare problem that the start was our larger set, which was 41. So we're going to build his 41 bananas in our start. We know that the change is going to be 8 bananas, because that's the number of bananas that Mike gave to his friend. So since it's going to be completely separated, we are going to regroup this long into 10 units. we can see that these are equal. And now we can partition the 8, which is going to be our change. Now, because it's a balance, in order to get our result, we know that the start and the result have to be equal, and we don't have to pay attention to the change anymore because the change has been completely separated from the start set. So we have 3 longs and 3 units, which is 33. So we know we have to build 33 in our result set. So when looking back, Mike has 27 more bananas than Julia. Julia has 14 bananas. If Mike gave 8 bananas to a friend, how many bananas does he have left? We can see that Mike has 33 bananas left. And it's important to emphasize not only the fact that it is a balance, but it's that we emphasize that in order to help with the misconception that an equal sign, as you see, means children most of the time think that that means the answer is coming up, but it's not that we know that through problems that's not always how problems are set up, and so it's important that we help fix this misconception by setting them out differently, which is what we did. We changed our structure of our problem by putting an unknown quantity first, and then we added a known which equaled another known, and then the other way that you can fix it is to use a balance like we did. So they're not necessarily looking for the quantities, they're trying to balance the quantities instead of adding and subtracting and using an equation. So that was a compare and separate multi-step problem.